right, people.
Welcome to this first live Coolin Out / free game collaboration. So glad to have everybody here. You know, we're gonna just treat it as if you guys aren't even here. You know, we're gonna just talk the same way we would talk. You guys are more than welcome to ask us your questions, but don't be hurt by what I say back to you. Nah, so I'm Jarel, obviously. It's Kev, you know how we do. Coolin Out. We got my boy Karl here, representing free game. Oh, what's up, man?
Nah, nothing.
The man himself, Karl, folks, on behalf of free game.
Yeah.
We got a loaded show for you guys tonight. So just sit back and, you know, brace yourself. Enjoy.
Yeah, definitely get drunk, man. It's a Sunday.
I'm drunk.
You guys aren't doing shit. Really, you guys aren't doing anything. It's a Sunday. Have some fun. Get drunk.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, appreciate you guys for all coming out.
Yeah.
Let's jump right into it. Something dropped on Friday.
Yeah.
So I'm not. Let me take a couple steps back. Meek Mill dropped the album on Friday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't expecting much from it. I wasn't expecting much.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I wasn't expecting much from it.
Why?
Oh wait. No, I get it. I know why you weren't expecting that.
Why?
Because you don't care about mass incarceration. You don't care about wait.
Prison
you don't care about
reform.
prison reform.
So you gonna put that on me?
You don't care about.
So you gonna put that on me?
No, I'm putting it on society. But you're a reflection on society.
No.
What Meek Mill, what that meant for, I think this is a championship moment for a lot of people. Prison reform, mass incarceration. He talks about it all. But you know, it gave me some early '90s vibes. I think he really took back a lot of layers. Like he stopped rapping about the Audemars and started rapping about, you know, how he felt about
All right,
things.
so time out. Now, when I said I didn't care about it dropping, that's because I expected him to be on the album talking about Audemars and repeating himself all over again and yelling and all that stuff. When I heard the album, it's fire. I'm not going to deny what I heard, but what I'm saying is going into it, I didn't expect much. I was like, all right, cool, this is going to be cool. Meek gonna probably have some hot shit for the winter, but I didn't expect him to be talking about anything real life.
Yeah. I think with Meek, man, there's always the underlying message of being from the inner city, speaking for the streets. There's a place for like these young cats with dreaded hair and with the red color. There's a space for everybody, right? There's nice rap. There's other, there's mainstream rap, and then there's Meek Mill rap, which is rap for the real ones, rap for the streets, rap for prison incarceration, prison reform. I thought he finally brought it all together, and made a cohesive project, and he spoke for a lot of people that needed to be spoken for. I thought it was an impressive album, and I thought it was a big moment. I thought it was a bigger moment.
You from Philly, you biased.
Nah, man.
Let's get Kevin here. He unbiased.
His best album or what?
Easy is his best album, but I think even outside of that context, I think it was big. I think this is one of the bigger hip hop moments. It's been for a while. You look back at the history of hip hop and how it started. Right, it started off as a cause, a fight against a system. Public Enemy, NWA. Guys. Rap was tied to political causes. Rap was tied to revolution and riot. That's what rap has always been, just like rock used to be. That was lost for a while, but I thought Meek Mill did a good job of tying it all in and bringing rap to where it used to be, which is just making it a revolution, being fully, it was just a thorough project.
Yeah, I think in the hierarchy, like, you got the big three, Kendrick, Drake, Cole, but I think, like, he's firmly four now, like, of his generation. Like, I think he definitely launched into, like, he's firmly four.
Nobody.
Wait, what did you just say? Sorry, wait, no, I'm not gonna.
Wait. Kendrick, Cole, and Drake, or the unanimous three of their generation.
I missed Cole. That's why.
What?
I didn't hear his name.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Jermaine. Yeah.
You almost lost some friendship points, but go ahead.
You think Meek is the unanimous four?
Who is?
Unanimous.
Who, Big Sean?
You gotta I
Don't say it like that.
What? No.
I will say this, man. Maybe is I don't know what is it. We gotta see what the numbers look like.
Unanimous.
That's fair.
You can't. I'm not gonna put Meek in that top four if he sells 100.
What time though? Who was in that class before? Like when people were always arguing, like, because I think
Wale was
four start second tier rappers, right? So you have the Wale's of the world, the Big Sean's of the world.
Wale.
Wow.
Lauren?
Yeah, Wale Lauren. He was out there for
my bad.
2010.
if this podcast, you know, Sosa, make sure you cut something up that you get Kevin, you know, talking about Wale like that.
Disrespect.
Wait, hold on. And then I'm gonna get that on the net. And you know what Wale's gonna do? He's gonna address this. He addresses every tweet and video directed at.
I hope he does.
So Sosa, make sure you cut that up.
And I hope he does.
It's gonna go viral.
It is.
But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say unanimous just because like nothing is like coming to my mind at the moment. Like, no other artists. I mean, I guess. I mean, yeah, you're right. It's a bunch of little Uzis and stuff now. I don't know.
I mean, for me, I would say Nipsey Hussle's fourth.
Ooh. So whoa.
Travis Scott.
Travis Scott. You know, that was crazy that we didn't. We didn't say Travis Scott.
It ain't crazy.
I think it's crazy. I think it's
generation after though.
I don't think about Travis Scott, but you could be right. But Nipsey's a
But he's
good
not
one.
from that class.
Nah, Travis.
Travis not
If there's somebody who's
That
fourth,
09,
I think it's unanimous.
Well, we're talking about like currently as the classes are running.
Are you sticking the boxes?
Yeah. Yeah, Kev one of them corporate. Like stay in the
Corporate
box.
Kev. What else you gonna say?
Nah, go ahead.
But nah, so I think I agree with you in the fact that it was definitely his most cohesive. It's probably the most cohesive album of 2018. But we'll get into that later. But it was definitely one. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
But it was one of the most cohesive projects that he ever put out.
Yeah, nah. Individually, it did what he was supposed to do. It was like I said. This is the moment for hip hop. This is really championships for the city of Philly. It did what it was supposed to do for hip hop. Like that's how I feel about the project.
This is his first time having a real message, though.
Yeah.
It took him going to prison and dealing with like the judicial system and all that shit for him to have a real message. And I think him having a real message it led to him putting out such a great project because he, as you say, spoke about the injustice of the prison system and all those things. So, I mean, I don't know. I just don't. Do you think that he can continue this though? Like, do you think that this one thing shaped him for the future?
Yeah.
Nah, I think this is really his message right here. I think this was like his reasonable doubt, his blueprint, his. I mean, but go. I'm really. I think I'm
easy with the names.
Yeah, I connect with the youth. I think a little bit better than some of my co-hosts right now.
Reasonable doubt, blueprint.
I think that if you really go on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you see the response this album's getting and what it's getting compared to, it's the comparisons are pretty crazy, but I like them all. I think this really does remind me of a project that really combined all of the sort of aspects of a great album. You had the street records, the motivational records. You had some really, really good features. You had.
He even did the love songs decent.
He had the love songs.
A lot of rappers
Meek had the love songs. So I just thought, man, like, when was the last time I heard an album like this? And it was
June 2018.
It was a long time ago.
What? You know what? I'm glad you're here, Kevin. We're not gonna go too far off topic, but
Drake's washed up.
I wasn't gonna say all that. But so for all y'all that don't know, listen, for all y'all that don't know,
You should be incarcerated.
this is Drake's number one fan right here. Kev got Aubrey tatted on his back, right on his lower back. He loves Aubrey Graham.
Stomach.
My bad. His
Someone needs to let Drake know too. I'm not pushing T.
So
you send some dudes at me on stage. I don't know what's going on.
So with that being said, is it better than Scorpion?
No.
Championship?
I can't say. It just came out Friday.
No.
He got a better J verse. I wouldn't say overall.
Oh, yeah, well that's without question.
What
Jay's verse
was on Scorpion?
Talk Up, whatever it was.
Oh, Talk Up.
Exactly. You see how you forgot it?
Phoned in verse.
Yeah. So you forgot it. But so.
But let's say this though.
Friday.
Let's say this. I think if Scorpion was a more concise project,
Without question,
it'd be the best album maybe of all time. Any album with Jaded on it?
The song Jaded, just the song Jaded itself.
Yeah, just the song.
Just
Jaded.
take out all the other 24 tracks on there and just focus on Jaded.
Yeah. Any song with Drake, harmonizing and singing. Come on, man. I think that has to be the album.
Nah, it was definitely bloated, but
yeah.
But I can't say that. It just came out Friday.
It's been a good year for music. It's been a good year.
How many times have you listened to it since Friday?
Twice.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, you see,
I heard What's Free like 20 times.
Yeah. See, I try my best not to stay away from those like, oh, you're just living in the moment type things. Where if an album just came out Friday, today's Sunday now. I listen to the album at least 5 times, like from front to back. it's definitely Meek's best album, and it's definitely better than Scorpion. Like the actual, cause we can't sit here and say, oh well, Drake would have made it more concise. He didn't. He put out 25 tracks, and you have to take the album as a whole. And looking at the album as a whole, Meek's album was just better as a whole. I can listen to Meek's album straight front to back. On Scorpion, there's a couple of tracks I'm skipping, especially that track with Jay.
There's a part of the ways, guys. It's when we're not separate ways.
This is the last episode ever.
You hurt my heart. You hurt my heart.
I'm just being honest.
So you think the 19 tracks on Champions beats the 24 on Scorpion?
Listen, so
because you're not gonna act like Meek's not a little bloated.
No.
There's 1 or 3 love songs that could have been off.
1 or 3 love songs.
Listen,
track for track, right? I don't think there's obviously Meek's best track on Championships can't compare to Drake's.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Top 3 or 4 tracks off of. But I'm talking about just the album as a whole. If you look at it like song for song, right? Meek's album just flows better. Like there's very few albums recently that I'm like, yo, I want to play this straight through, and I can listen to Meek's album straight through, song 1 through 19. Do you listen to Scorpion that way? Do you listen to Scorpion that way?
Well, he kind of cheated with the 2 sides, but I can.
Even got side A side B. Just get period. Just listen to it front to back.
I can.
Today you listen to it front to back.
I haven't in a while.
Exactly. That's my point. Without skipping anything.
No, but I know my favorites now, though. I'm not going to the fillers. So
how many times?
I'm just listening to like 22 out of 24 instead of the whole.
So first couple listens. Scorpion came out whatever weekend that came out.
It's June 2018.
What I tell you, the love. So when it came out June 2018, how many times did you listen to Scorpion straight front to back?
That Friday about 5-6 times.
No, that's different. That's but you a different breed. Like you
come from a different.
Let me ask you, we need someone who's more level-headed.
Yeah, nah. Maybe
5 to 10?
Yeah, 10 times. I think Drake's better than Michael Jackson. I think he's better than Elvis. I think Drake legitimately is the greatest musician of all time.
He's on an unprecedented run. The part of the way.
This is when I leave.
He's
better than Mike?
I think Quincy.
You gonna look back on this run? Like,
no, Drake really.
This is the most dominant stretch for hip hop artists.
No, he really did.
Yeah, hip hop artist. He ain't better than Mike.
He made it cool to make love songs again, man.
Artists.
He made it cool for.
This is one of the most dominant stretches of an artist in general.
I'm about to sound like an old head. I ain't gonna lie. Cause like you know what's funny? My parents just Mike. I'm starting at Michael Jackson.
Who?
What? Turn on a Mike Jackson album right now. Everybody get up here, start twisting their legs, doing crazy.
Turn
shit.
it on.
No, bro. Michael Jackson is one of the.
All right, after Thriller, name him.
What? After Thriller? Bad, Dangerous, Invincible. And then the last one came out, that's when he was done for it.
Yeah, he different.
What about Prince?
What do you mean I'm different?
Does anyone listen to him?
Who?
Prince.
Not me.
I don't.
God rest him, but nah.
But he's world renowned. But yeah, I don't get it.
I mean, he's royal too, but
I don't disrespect the legends.
I don't.
So Drake is probably one of the greatest hip hop. Well, he not probably one of the greatest
hip hop artists. This run is unprecedented.
He made it cool to love.
He's one of the most successful artists. He's breaking Michael Jackson records.
He allowed men to be vulnerable.
He's breaking Michael Jackson records in a
yeah, he did a lot for mental health. He did a lot
for mental health. Like seriously. Nah, he made it cool.
Marvin's Room was a transformation.
You know how many heartbroken emojis I put in my pictures? Like me looking at
Well, that's because you guys are different.
What, Drake made it cool?
Drake made it cool, man. Drake made it cool for Jews to show emotion.
I need some defense.
Marvin's Room.
We ain't living like this.
What?
No, I'm saying.
That's why I'm glad I'm sitting in between you guys. There'd be too much love.
Go ahead. Where are we wrong?
No, first of all, yes, Drake made it cool to be in your feelings, I guess.
He said cry if you need to.
What does that mean?
To me, that means everything, man.
So you're telling me so before or you weren't crying if you needed to?
No.
Nah?
Nah.
You just hold it in?
None of our role models were
Preach that. Yeah, they were slaying crack on the corner.
Kev, you weren't slinging crack nowhere.
I know, but that's what we're saying. None of our artists really motivated. They weren't really talking to me.
I don't know. I mean, obviously Drake's one of the greatest artists of all time, but it's hard. It's hard to compare all time because obviously eras change. The way music is given to us changes. We can literally access any song we want to.
And he dominates in his era. All you can do is base it on his era.
Yes, and your era. Michael Jackson dominated his era. Who was competing with Michael Jackson at his prime? Who?
I wasn't around back then.
And this is before anyone can access music. It's for the internet. It's for anything. No one was competing with Mike.
Nah, he's good. He's a good artist.
Good.
Mike was cool.
I'm about to change something. I can't fuck with y'all no more. It's like the end of our friendship right here on this stage.
MJ was cool.
Listen, I'm contractually obligated.
He has some off the field issues.
And that's was it so?
Yeah.
He has some off the court, off the field issues that
chill.
Yeah.
Focus on the music only.
Yeah. Nah, what do you guys feel about that, man? About divvying out? Because there's a couple guys in this generation. Well, I guess in the past couple generations where you're like, man, like R. Kelly, like his music is crazy good though. I mean, like, but like, can you? Is it okay for us to separate a person's art from their character?
Depends.
Yeah.
Depends on the timing.
That's a lawyer answer.
That is a lawyer answer.
I always separate. I never really.
It depends. I don't. Okay? Me personally, I think it is okay.
But there are exceptions.
I don't think we should. I'm not a big believer in like cancel culture at all.
I'm not, but like R. Kelly specifically, like you hear some of his content and then you like the allegations that constantly surround him. It's hard to.
When I listen to R. Kelly's any song, none of the allegations matter to me. He is the worst person, like lowest human being breed I've ever seen in my life.
Depends.
But his music is phenomenal, and I can't.
Ignition versus I Believe I Can Fly. Like it depends on the content.
So Ignition makes you think about his allegations.
When you talk about sexual.
I think it's more of a morality question, though. Do you guys think it's more like, do you guys think it's okay? It's like I think it's less about whether.
Exactly.
No, it's a morality question. Do you think we should be listening to this dude's music, knowing what he's done? This dude married like a 14-year-old.
But we knew that. People knew that. Like he was in the back of Aaliyah's album cover. Like he was in the back on the wall, posted up when she was like 16 years old.
What does that say about us then? I mean, you talking about?
I didn't buy that album. It say nothing about me.
We're still streaming the records. We're still listening to music.
I haven't listened to an R. Kelly record.
You guys clearly don't refresh your moral compass.
You gotta get your life together. If you listen to R. Kelly in a couple of months.
You guys clearly need to refresh your moral compass because...
Do you listen to R. Kelly?
I would never put an artist to the art.
So listen, if you at any family function, wedding, anything where large groups or gatherings are together, and Step in the Name of Love, come on, you just go sit in the corner.
But that's a different R. Kelly.
No.
That's a different R. Kelly though.
You just go sit in the corner. I'm putting you in the box. You just go sit in the corner.
They're both the R. Kelly.
Your feet just start moving. You can't even control
That's a different R. Kelly.
But that song's bigger than
that's a motivation.
How is that song bigger than R. Kelly?
Step in the Name of Love, I Believe I Can Fly, different from like Ignition.
World's Greatest. World's Greatest is another one.
Like listen to the Bump and Grind now, crazy. Knowing how Robert get down,
Listen,
crazy. It's crazy.
Listen, I'm not trying to defend Robert in any of his allegations, any of his life circumstances, none of the above. But what I'm saying is that I just can't deny good music.
We know what you are.
Chill. I never go out. First, listen, I never go out and like seek an R. Kelly track or nothing like that.
Sure.
But if it comes on, like I'm not going to deny. Bump and Grind is fire. Ignition is fire.
I'm just saying I can't help, and this is not all artists.
Yeah.
But I can't help, like, given his content and all the allegations that surround him for, like, decades now, I can't help in like, disrespect.
We part ways there. I mean,
I'm never the person, like, you gotta separate the artist from the art. Like, do you remember when Spotify had, like, they were banning people from their playlists?
What they took down?
Like, when you start there, you can just...
That can go anywhere.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you can ban Jay, like, he used to sling crack on the call. Like,
you can ban
him. Like,
Eminem is one of the most influential artists of all time.
Yeah.
You can literally ban Eminem for everything, every track that he's ever put out.
I thought Eminem was very inappropriate. I'm not even trying to be annoyed. I feel like...
Yeah, in the moment, yeah.
I thought, like...
In the moment?
Nah, I mean, like...
crazy.
Even, like, when he was rapping, I was like, man... I never got it, and I also felt like
I loved it.
I always felt like it was just like, man, what this dude is? How is this rocking? Like,
yo,
this guy is really on some shit.
I'm not gonna lie, Eminem. Like when I was maybe I got introduced to Eminem when I was 11 or 12,
and he wasn't good enough.
Eminem introduced me to like what? Chill out. We're gonna deal with that in a second.
Yeah.
Eminem introduced me to like that concept of like the crazy white boy, the suburban white boy in his room. And how like they just want to kill their parents and shit. Like all that stuff was like brand new to me. Like I'm growing up in the hood. I'm a young black. I'm like, yo, what's he talking about? He's sorry to his mom, and my mom was like, that's his real mom he's talking about. And I was like, I know, right? It's crazy. Like that music, like it's insanity, but it's art. Like for anyone to think outside the box to that point, it's art. Like that's great music. If he made it today in 2018, 2019 coming up, he wouldn't sell the way he sold before.
Yeah, they're few better at the art of actually rapping than it. And it was like
almost no.
Nah, it's definitely easier to be an artist it was definitely easier to be an artist back then than it is now. Not from like getting your music out. You know, it's so easy to get your music out these days. But in terms of being able to say what you want, being able to, you know, put out that content without having restrictions on art. Now it's just like, man, you put something out, how many people are going to, you know, comment on it?
That's
like,
a good point.
How many people are going to try to cancel
someone? Yeah.
Nah, like cancel culture is crazy, man. I've had people try to cancel me for like the smallest shit ever, man. And it's like, dude, stuff that they don't even know, like they don't even get, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel you. But like, so like, perfect, because that actually ties back. I wanted to go back to Meek real quick, and we're gonna go a little bit more in depth about the What's Free track. But so about canceling culture, right? Before we even talk about What's Free, the song itself and exactly what it meant to me and like the culture overall, there's a very specific line we're talking about off wax that Rick Ross said. Well, one word actually, like F word rhymes with maggot.
Be brave.
And like he said it in 2018, and like it's crazy because like when I used to listen to Eminem, for example, in the year 2000, that was very normal to me. I'm listening to Meek Mill's album going to work on Friday, and my ears just ringing when I heard it. I was like, yo, and I text Kev like, yo, did he just say what I thought he said? Like he's brave for bringing that word up, and like
I feel like we need to teach people to be more sensitive, less sensitive about being called stuff. I think right now, culture responded to harshness and like bullying by like saying people need to stop. I think culture should have really responded by making people stronger. Like no words should ever be able to break you, in my opinion. No words should ever be able to get you out of character. I mean, like you called me the N-word, it just wouldn't like that. I think it's a loss. You got to be able to be strong in that sense. Like, because there's always gonna be criticism. The higher you go in life, there's always gonna be people calling you stuff. And social media has made it so much more available, where you can put up a picture and some clown doesn't even know you, but they call you ugly or fat. Like,
got you.
And then now what? Are you going to be like sensitive or sad about it, or or should we cancel this person because they said that? What about like how should we handle that? You know, I always thought the response was to one, expose that person, let them expose who they are. Like definitely don't cancel them, but I also think it's important for us to become people who are non-reactive and don't feed in any of that sort of behavior, because it doesn't go away. Like it doesn't go away.
Yeah, so I understand what you're saying, but given the already set precedent and the meaning behind the word, like it's not like, okay, for example, you're saying, well, before we basically ridicule people for saying it, rather than teaching people who are on the receiving end of the word to be stronger, basically, right? Am I correct in what you're saying? You're saying people should be stronger and not let people call them, like not basically essentially let their feelings be hurt by someone calling them something.
Your feelings can be hurt. I mean, like we're human beings, but I also feel like that shouldn't be we should never get to the point where kids are committing suicide off of people getting bullied off of words. I mean, I'm never gonna be like, yo, you need to be tougher, kid. That's like obviously not what I'm trying to say. I think it's like embedded in us right now to like chastise the bully instead of building self-worth. I think if we focus more so on like, you know, building people's character and appreciating like self-worth, I think it's going to be very tough for anyone to commit suicide, or because like you just believe in yourself, you love yourself. We gotta teach more of that, and those bullies are they wouldn't even be anywhere because we be teaching, you know, self-promotion, self-love.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's more so what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I agree with you in the sense that I think if we essentially restrict people from saying more and more words, then there will be no words that people can say. Because overall, I mean, like, there's no way to eradicate hate. Like, there's no way to eradicate it in totality. People are gonna hate people for any given reason. Like, if it's not your gender, your sexuality, anything like that, people will find a reason to hate you. If they really, or your race, people will find a reason to hate you. They really want to hate you.
Yeah, we live in a generation of like no mistakes, right? Like it's like when you make a mistake, people try to hang you on the cross. Like that's really what it is. Like you made one mistake, but it's like, yo, you made a mistake too.
But that was a conscious mistake. I don't think that was a mistake. Meaning Rick Ross saying that word on the track, that wasn't a mistake. He said it.
Yeah, he
I'm sure he's well aware of the consequences that, or the repercussions.
There are a few words I just stay away from.
Yeah,
using your logic though, it's art, right? It's
That's true.
You know what he meant by it. I thought he just meant by, you know, you go to
Yeah, prison.
You go, when you go into prison, all the harsh talk and all the other stuff that you were saying
goes away. It goes away quickly.
Yeah. That's how I took it, and I think that's how it should be looked at. But now we gotta get less sensitive. People gotta be able to say whatever they want to say because freedom of speech, freedom of being able to walk into a room and say. We have so many people hiding how they actually feel. I think that this is like the Donald Trump argument. Like he's good. He's almost good to be in office because he's exposing. A lot of people are now coming to the forefront and saying how they want to feel because Donald Trump is sort of like, championing that. Like he's kind of giving you that sort of comfort for you to like, speak out. But I don't think that's like. No, I understand that, but I also feel like people should always like have that room to speak how they feel, like, and without sort of punishment, man. Like, because when you start monitoring and restricting what people can or can't do, that line becomes super subjective, right? We don't have our moral codes, I guess, are. I don't know. We have people in here. I don't know what anyone here's moral code is, but I'm sure it's going to be different. There's going to be things that like I think are appropriate, and there's gonna be things that you're like, nah, that's not appropriate at all. And who's drawing those lines? Like,
so essentially, intent matters. Then,
what do you mean?
Intent matters because, like, for example, you're saying our moral codes are different, right? I could say a word and throw it out here, and we could all have 5 different interpretations of what my intent was behind saying this particular word in this sentence and all that sentence structure, all that stuff. But my true intent behind it matters. Like you're saying, Rick Ross, his intent wasn't to be offensive when he said that. He was talking about, you being tough, now you're about to go to prison, and we know what normally happens to tough guys in prison. Yeah. So his intent mattered, essentially.
Yeah, no, 200%. I think if people
also perception, like people can like hear it and they're gonna just feel a certain way, depending on the individual.
Right. So I think what you just said is important because like if you assume positive intent or good intent, like you're always gonna probably be able to have dialogue with people. But if you assume the other way around, that like Rick Ross is like a bigot and
oh my god, how can you use that word?
Yeah, then you're not going to get the point in the message.
That's how I took it the first listen, but I've also been trained to think like that. Like society tells you, yo, this word is terrible. Like, yo, you should stay away from that.
Nah, I tweeted this the other day, man. I said part of learning is learning how to unlearn. Like, it really is, man. Like, we have so much stuff that's been embedded in everything we do that, like, the biggest learning curve in my life has been learning how to unlearn. Like, so that's just how I feel about it.
That's facts.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it.
How do you feel about the final verse though on that song?
Jay's verse on What's Free? Empowering. Powerful. Where do I even start? I think like the overall message I took from it, like, because at first it was like, all right, you bragging, you a billionaire, cool, you getting your money, your house is big, da-da-da. But the underlying message about like how black people never come together, and how so many artists are getting basically shafted in their deals, even though he told them years ago, like, that ain't the way to do it. We shouldn't be signing 365s anymore, 360s anymore. But it was just powerful. It was like, yo, we really gotta come together as a people and just put up and do our own shit. Like,
so many layers.
so many layers to it.
Yeah, words he rarely offers. This dude is like the most secretive man. Like his whole life is like some big decoded message. It's like, bro, like you have the skill set and knowledge that so many people want, and you just like.
Well, wouldn't people argue behind the scenes?
What?
But what do you want them? You saw the title.
Give people give people more people
more upfront. Like tweet more. Well, I don't.
I think it's
just be more public.
It's a totality of it. I think it's everything. Like tweet more, be more cognizant. Like put out more material for people. He has like where's Jay-Z?
He's 50 years old.
What? So,
he got 3 kids. I think I completely 100%, 1000% disagree. I think him just being the role.
I think he has an obligation.
What's his obligation?
I think people who act,
he is the forefather of like hip hop now.
He's one of those dudes who like acts like he doesn't have an obligation. He accepts obligation when he wants to accept obligation. He's like one of those dudes. Like he'll say his little spiel in a verse, but then he goes away. Like
how is that not him fulfilling his obligation? The music, but not just that. Music that goes nowhere. Like I put this out now. I told you how I felt. Now you want him to go out and tell people how he feels 1,000 times?
I think he needs to put out more material. I think he has a lot of.
you shouldn't come back if you don't have something to say.
Yeah,
He has.
I don't want.
You mean he has nothing? He has a lot. It's Jay-Z. Like, what do you mean? He has the most game in the universe off. Like, what are we talking about here? It's not like he needs to. I think he needs to do more. I'm sorry. He has an obligation. I think to the streets, to impoverished people, to people who need answers. It's like he's like. I feel like he's almost.
So should he talk?
I feel like he's almost an enemy. I feel like Jay-Z's almost an enemy.
What? You gotta explain this because you
because I feel like he's got the answers and decoded it. If that makes sense. No, he did decode it. Sorry, he's like he got the answers and encoded it up and then left. Like he's like he doesn't make anything easily accessible.
So you feel like he's not doing anything?
He doesn't make anything easily accessible. He doesn't really help. I don't think he's done anything that make this path to success easier for people who come from where you come from.
But what path to success? The path to success. He's been successful majority, and the majority of his success comes from the music industry, and I think he had.
Not no more.
Well, yeah, that was the start.
Yeah, I'm saying so. Like, yeah, but the people that he primarily affects, that he could primarily affect, are in the music industry. So, like,
I'm saying everything he does is so high level that if you're not high level, you can't understand it.
So what do you want me to do? Oh, Karl, come join on this deal with me. Like, what do you want me to do?
Like a lot of this stuff.
Yes.
But he even raps it though. Like
But it's still high level.
Like
everything he says is so coded. It's like everything he says is so high level. Like
no, I feel like he just doesn't speak much. So when he does speak, I feel like his message is pretty clear. Like he's been telling artists like, stop buying all these chains, stop signing these crazy deals, like know your worth. And he just reminded us in that verse, but artists still do it. He just doesn't talk that much about it.
And my point to you is,
he should talk more.
Yeah, talk more about it.
You want to be an activist? Like, what do you want me to do?
I think he has more. I think he has more resources and available. I think he has more resources than all of us combined. Yeah. And like the fact that he doesn't really offer those resources gets me upset. Like, why am I doing? I'm not gonna say his grunt work, but I'm saying like, why are we the community leaders and not Jay-Z? Like, why is he not focusing his efforts at the grassroots level? If not, he's just become like, when I say he's an enemy in that sense, he's just another big conglomerate. That's what I meant by that. He's just another person who's not doing anything on the grassroots level, and that's just what it is. Like, that's what I meant in terms of like, well, I can't really relate to him because he's not where I'm at, and he's not really helping me get to that next level. He's giving these like he's giving rap lines about it, but not giving us education about it. Like, that's totally different.
I feel like he is giving it.
I mean, I just don't know.
Through his rap lines?
No, I'm this is where I'm baffled. Like, you're saying he could do more, but you're not telling me exactly what he could do.
Curriculum.
A PSA? You want to do a public service announcement?
I think he needs curriculum. I think he needs
fire song.
I think he needs to offer more opportunities.
It's a fire song.
I think he needs to give more opportunities. I think he needs to create more opportunities in inner city. I think he needs to do. I think you have obligations.
So listen, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm like the most well versed and knowledge in Jay-Z's philanthropic.
It's less about Jay-Z
Gibbons, but I don't know what he does philanthropy wise. But I'm assuming that he's giving back.
No, he gives. Look, I'm not trying to take anything away from him. Like, and I also think this is in particular a Jay-Z issue. I think it's more of a rich. I think it's a rich person issue. I think capitalism doesn't work. It probably will never work. But it doesn't work when the people with the resources like don't provide those resources to people who don't have them. Like, this shit doesn't work. Like, if you have a bunch of money and you're hoarding it, or you're only giving out high level stuff, you're not really giving other people access to it. You're not really telling people how to do it. You're not really trying to protect them at a lower level. Like, that's why I do free game or anything I do, because it's like, people just don't understand this stuff. And he understands the game way more than I ever could at this juncture of my life. And he's not doing anything sort of besides giving rap lyrics to like.
My whole thing is, I don't know what he does behind the scenes. Like, my assumption is that he does
that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter.
You want to be more public with it.
Right, yeah. I don't care what he does behind the scenes.
That's fair.
Like, I'm sure he's making an impact. I'm not even doubting it. I just think that he could be full circle. Why not hold him to a higher standard? Like, does he not need to be held to a higher standard?
We don't have to agree, disagree on that. I want to know, like, what are your thoughts on the verse, Jay-Z's verse? You didn't really dive in.
I think it's his best feature in years. I think it's like
down.
multiple layered. I loved it. I love that. I love that he just pops up and reminds people that, like, yo, I'm still that good. I'm almost 50. I can still, like, smoke you, dude.
Overall, what's the song mean to both of you?
Nothing.
The song means
I'd say it means absolutely nothing. It was a good music. It was a good record. Like, doesn't mean anything to me.
I love it because I'm a big Biggie fan too. So hearing over like the snares of What's Beef and knowing their connection, and I really think it was like a fire verse. It's just so you're talking about slavery, like what they did to us, artists that are still kind of like enslaved, and yeah, but he doesn't talk.
No, they don't do it like him. Not just Jay. I'm talking about the song overall. No,
I love the message. I love them. Like they all were good.
Yeah, I get it. Prison reform, you know, slavery and the mentality. It was a good little message. But rap's been doing that for so long without action or change. Like,
with their levels.
What is that going to do?
With their levels.
But I mean, like, when I'm serious when I say you trace back the history of rap and where it started and how it came to prominence. It was a revolution. It's a riot music, right? It's revolution music. It was just like rock was like. It's counterculture. It started that way. Like NWA, Public Enemy, they were all raps with messages, raps trying to move the culture, so I get it, it's cool, like it helped, but how much does it really help? How much is it really gonna help?
I love the art of rapping still, like, I don't think I'm not one of these old heads that would be like, you know, mumble what, like all forms are welcome, but I still like, you hear a really fire verse.
I don't think rap's that important. I don't think rap's that.
I think, first of all, I think it matters because we're talking about like Public Enemy, NWA, all those groups that were very prominent, the early 90s, late 80s, and how they influenced a certain group of people in that time frame. Our people, now, anyone who listens to rap music, on the average, isn't going back and listening to NWA or Public Enemy. So I think that message, whether you think it was worthless or not, it influenced someone. Someone heard that and was like, wow, and was definitely enlightened. Bro, think about how many times we talk to people on a daily, and like, we have conversations all the time on wax, so we're like, yo, I'm not even gonna spend the time to try to open that dude's mind, because his mind is so closed. Like, that dude is just so lost. I don't wanna waste my time doing it. But now imagine someone like Jay-Z, someone like Meek Mill, someone like Rick Ross, where these are your idols. These are someone's idols, and they say these things on a verse. Right there, your mind's open. Someone that someone got reached by that, and I think that to me makes me feel like that's not a waste of time. That's why it has some value.
Yeah,
someone got reached in that. Everyone should have some concept over their own time and what's free. And you're not free when someone's telling you where to be. when you need to be there.
Quit your job tomorrow.
Exactly. I'm not free. I'm not free. And we have conversations all the time. I'm not free. If I was free, if I'm at work and I'm done doing everything by 4, I should be able to leave. Why am I sitting here?
Yeah.
But I'm not free. And I'm saying that's the concept of people.
We got the employee with the hairpiece. We got that.
Huh?
We got that.
Yeah. Yeah. Your boss makes you stay somewhere. You're not free. But it's even deeper than that. Like Meek Mill in his verse got into the Kaepernick situation, where he was like, yo, like, this dude's kneeling, but like, and we'll talk about it a little later with the Kareem Hunt and Ruben Fawcett thing, but this dude's kneeling, you see any of his teammates supporting him, and all he's kneeling for is what? Injustices around the world affecting his communities, things like that. No one's supporting him. You see any players still speaking out about it? That shit is dead. No one is talking about Kaepernick anymore. Very rarely. This dude's getting signed to NFL right now with mad felonies, convictions, crimes on their records, recent convictions and crimes, and they're still getting signed. So I think the concept of the song overall, it's an eye-opener. Like, even someone like me who's woke, per se, like, it's still, I was like, yo, damn, I need to hear that. Like, that was dope. I needed to hear that and, like, keep pushing.
Yeah, it was alright. Nah, I'm not even being passive. It's more so like, I just think there's bigger. They're not. I've lost confidence. I feel like the gap between grassroots and like people who have all. It's such like a divide. Like, I don't even want to hear it. Like, it's like you don't even know how this feels no more, man. You just talking. And if you knew how it felt, you'd probably be different. Like, your perspective.
I get that mentality.
You get where I'm coming from? It's like, man, like, if you really, these words really resonated with you, man, you wouldn't be walking around and you. Not necessarily Jay-Z, but more so like me. You wouldn't be walking around with your $200,000 chain and you're Audemars and putting so much distance between you and the next human being. Because that's like, it just all comes down to, it's all about we're trying to put distance between you and the next man with money, chains, cars, clothes, facade, persona. That's all people are doing.
Anyone can say the same thing about any one of the three of us sitting up here. I am nowhere near where I was when I was younger. Nowhere near economic-wise, nothing where I was when I was younger. Anyone come to me and say, yo, you don't live in the projects no more, you don't know what it's like anymore. Why do you care about this stuff? Like, yeah, and granted, Jay-Z's like, what, 100,000 levels above that? Like, me even being, what, 2-3 steps above that? Like, people can still look at you and say, you don't relate back to that. You haven't been there, God knows how long.
And that's how I agree, because you got to start somewhere. Like, you still remember that. You still see it.
But my point is, I don't think you said anything I disagree with. I also think there's a follow-up part, though. It's like,
you just don't think.
What are you doing to actively, once you, I guess, get your platform or you're not in that space anymore, what are you doing actively to propel people from that space?
You don't think Jay-Z empowers?
By what, talking? I guess.
You don't think he provides opportunities for people?
Not the way you should. I think, like I said, I hold people to higher standards. I think there's a bigger obligation than what I'm seeing from him. And then I think that's part of it.
Do you hold like Dr. Dre or Diddy to the same?
Yeah, 200%.
Oh.
You think that they're fulfilling their obligations?
I think Diddy more so than
What's Diddy doing? Charter
schools. He just opened up his 4th one in the area. I think like school education is key. So Diddy opened up his once again the 4th one in the Connecticut and New York area. Smaller stuff, just smaller. Like that's more grassroots for me and more what I'm trying to say. Like more program, more direct. Poverty to opportunity. Roles, like offering more of that.
But even someone can argue, so just conversely to what you're saying about Diddy, how many artists has he supposedly fucked over? Numerous, like that whole Bad Boys era. The actual reputation around Bad Boy, the reputation around Bad Boy, his record label is how he fucks artists over. So like you're essentially taking from your own people because every artist signed besides MGK is black. So you're saying, yeah, he put a charter school here, but then you can nitpick and say, yo, you actually fucked over all these artists. You didn't give these artists their worth. You didn't pay them what they were due. Yeah. You're about to be a billionaire off of there because you're not giving them their worth.
Maybe I'm a cheat, but this is what I'll say.
Like, about to cheat.
Nah, I mean, I just feel like just because I agree with some part doesn't mean I agree with all parts.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that someone can make the argument that yes, you're giving this area, but you're taking away in that.
You're a lawyer. You make a lot of arguments.
I'm just saying.
No, I get what you're trying to say. I think the bigger issue though is like I think if you're not providing opportunities, and you're saying stuff like, I'm for the streets and I'm for the people, I'm for the impoverished, and I don't see direct poverty to opportunity impact, then I don't it doesn't mean that much to me. Like it just talk, but it really is though, because how many people just can't. Where we grew up and where we see it and where how our family is like, I can't even you never even fathom being an attorney. You never, because it seems so far away. You never even fathom having money in your pocket because it seems so far away. You never even fathom having an internship or being able to afford your apartment because it seems so far away.
Yeah. I
just think that it takes more than a couple rap lyrics and for me to change my opinion on what you're doing, because I just think your obligation is stronger than what I think it is. I just think it's bigger. I think his role in society should be bigger, and it's not, and that's like my gripe with him. It's a personal gripe for sure, but I also respect the other stuff he does in his artistry. I think Jay-Z's also an example of being a mogul, turning something into nothing, being a shrewd businessman, all the other stuff that that Jay, he's impeccable. But there's still for me there's the other side of him that I'm not getting, that I'm not happy with, and that's just what it is.
I got you.
There's a couple other guys I can shout them all out.
Go ahead. Yeah, I was about to say. I mean, we could have a full-blown conversation, but we'll be sitting here for hours, so let's just move forward. Let's get into the top 5 albums of 2018.
I mean, so
you know what? Let's actually. I feel like before we even get into that, I think we started touching on it.
The Kareem Hunt thing.
Yeah, some of the.
Yeah, because we can't end on a bad.
Yeah.
You want to go into that? All right, so. I guess I'll give a little bit of background. Kareem Hunt, I would say top 3 running back in the NFL.
Yeah.
Top 3 Kansas City Chiefs, young, super nice. Video released on Friday. TMZ released this video of him. I don't know what word to say. Is it assaulting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, the word's assault.
Push her into a wall. Yeah.
Well, he pushed his boy, and so anyway, assaulting a woman, and he was cut from the Kansas City Chiefs. So a lot of things went into this. So back in February, reports surfaced of this incident. There was no video. There were no charges filed, anything of the sort. But supposedly he met with the Chiefs and told them nothing happened. So they, I guess forgave him and let him stay on the team. Video released Friday. They cut him. Thoughts? This is a lot.
I had this conversation earlier. I feel like we have such a weird love for like punishing people instead of rehabilitating people that like first thing we do with anyone who does anything wrong is like punish you, like make you feel less than a person, and we're not focused on making you a better person in society because prison system doesn't work because we don't rehabilitate people. We put them in a cage and confine them, or if someone does something wrong at work, you fire them and tell them go. And then we're not trying to actively make people better. We're trying to save our ass essentially. Mm-hmm. So I just thought it was an act by the Chiefs. I thought it was cowardly by the Chiefs. Mm-hmm. Obviously, the act itself is like it is what it is. It's a bad. We all know about domestic violence in this country.
Yeah.
But I also think dealing with broken human beings is something that we haven't been able to adjust to. And I thought this is another example. Like, this is what you do. Like, this was your guy like 5 minutes ago, and he makes a mistake. Even if he lied to you, he made a mistake, and then like what? Your thing is to cut him.
I'm with you, but and this might be a bias, but the NFL as a whole, like even when they cut him, I didn't think it was for like moral reasons. It's just perception, and maybe that's just my bias on the NFL.
Say that.
But it's also like when the video came out, I don't know if like the physicality of what they do, and like maybe we're getting too deep, but like what it does to their brains and stuff. But like none of this surprises. Like it came out just like, oh, another NFL player. Like I guess when you compare it to like the NBA, like the league, like it's fewer people, but you don't see these allegations of like domestic violence, people getting stopped for like the 20th DUI, and so I was like thinking like even deeper. But to go back to what you were saying. Yeah, none of it surprised me. Like, they cut him, they don't care at all.
Wouldn't it have been amazing for you to see the Chiefs send him to, like, some domestic violence camp?
Yeah.
Or rehabilitation center for, like, 6 months and really reinvest in a human being?
No.
But you even think back to...
That would have been great for me.
Like, going back to, like, the Ray Rice. Ray Rice told Goodell exactly what he did in that elevator.
He didn't learn his lesson, but he's not going to...
But I'm saying... The punishment he gave him at the time before the video actually came out was less than, and that's crazy. He told him verbatim what he did, but because the video came out, that's when the punishment really got levied.
So
we lost sight in trying to heal human beings, man.
Well, so
they don't care.
I think I'm talking about.
We gotta take a step back. So there's like a couple things. Like one thing I really want to like hone in on. Like words are very important. Words mean everything. People choose their words purposefully. The Chiefs cut him because he lied to them, not because he did it. They cut him, and that the statement that they released Friday when they cut him said he lied to us. Not what?
That's wild.
He's not a cop.
Yeah, this dude's a cop.
It's a fact though. Like no, because that was like the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, oh, so you cut him because he lied to you, not because he did it. Because in February, you knew he did that. Tyreek Hill is on their team. 2014 in college, he strangled his pregnant girlfriend. He's still on their team. There's 1,000,001 dudes in the NFL that have done it. I'm not like bashing. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but like they did what they did, and it's like the NFL. It's hard, right? So they basically created this bubble around them where they have a protection. They create this thing called an exempt list where. So basically, they put a player on the exempt list. This player can't practice. He can't go to any team drills. He can't play in any games, basically, right? The NFL will do that, but that doesn't restrict any team from keeping this player on their roster. So any team, basically, now he's been waived, can still pick him up. He just can't do anything with them. So the NFL is like, yeah, don't blame us. Blame this particular team. Don't blame the NFL as a whole.
I think this is all moot.
Why?
I think unless his act or anyone's act was so despicable that we just couldn't imagine him, being a better human being, rehabilitating.
You see his interview this morning?
Well, I mean,
No, what happened?
What's still? So if there's an act that he did that was so despicable, we could never see him being a member of society again. I guess that's the time when we shun him. But this is a young dude. He's 25 years old.
He's gonna get another job in the NFL.
All right, you're convinced.
I highly doubt that he won't get another job.
This is a young guy.
Greg Hardy got picked up.
But it's not even about getting picked up again. That still wouldn't make him a better person in society. We don't want. The bigger thing in life is if you're the Chiefs or you're the NFL, if you're his mom or you're his dad, you don't want this to happen again. That's what we should be focusing on. Man, how can we make Kareem Hunt
a better person?
Kareem Hunt who won't do this again.
Yeah.
Because he's a broken human being, clearly.
Well, I would
hurt people.
The NFL don't seem, like his parents, I definitely agree, but the NFL don't seem to care.
Hurt people.
So what do you think exactly the NFL could do?
Send him to programs to help him. Like, he doesn't have to be playing football. It doesn't have to be making a check. Like, take his salary away. But if he wants to play football, if he wants to play football again,
he has to complete a program.
We need you to really focus on being a better you and understand why you are the person you are today and how you can be better tomorrow.
They just don't seem to care.
It's not even just. But this is the thing. I'm not even gonna. Oh, obviously they don't seem to care because they're big business. But it's also like. But I don't even know if that would actually help someone. Like for example, right?
So, but to that point, it's the attempt. At least attempt. Like, I don't know Adam Silver, his morality is what, but the perception that NBA is like they care about the NBA. Like they make the perception is that they care about their players. Like when I think about the NFL and Goodell, it doesn't really seem like they care about. It's just like a business, and we'll just keep it going. Like, and the NBA at least has a perception that they care. Like, they at least try. Like, when the Clippers owner, immediately you ban them. Like, to give I don't know your moralities, I don't know the reasons you did it, but the perception is racism is not at all tolerated in this league. That's the perception you give out immediately. The perception that the NFL is like, you don't care.
No, but so what I'm saying is, like, right now the NFL's biggest issues are CTE and domestic violence.
Yes.
What do you suggest they do about domestic violence?
Well, I think those are linked. I definitely think the physicality. I mean,
it comes from the physicality and aggression of the game.
Somewhat linked, but I also think it's it says people are coming from broken situations and they do broken things, and it's like people are, by the time they get to the NFL, these are dudes who have done a lot of different things to like not address like some of their weak points in life, and they're just not. Come on, but then to like shell them, for me it's like we've lost that. We've lost that sort of humanity. It's always like this. We're not even talking about, like, if I didn't bring that point up, in my opinion, I don't think we'd be talking about Kareem Hunt as a human being.
Yeah.
We'd be talking about Kareem Hunt as the dude who, like an object almost, like he needs to be punished. We'll never talk. Nah, we need to make sure that Kareem Hunt's walking the streets, that he's not a threat. Like, he's not a threat to himself, and he's not a threat to, any person, or especially women, obviously, that he comes into contact to. And
that's the thing.
That's isn't it? Or we should be solution-based people, not let's make this dude feel the wrath of hell because he made a mistake.
No, and what I'm saying is, what is the solution? Like, what is the solution? Like, have him complete a course?
I've talked to scientists.
The NFL is a billion-dollar company.
What is the solution?
You can send him somewhere.
What's the solution?
Send him somewhere.
Like, no.
I mean, like, have him go through classes. Like, make the attempt.
And what does that do? Like, so what?
You tried.
You got a course.
I think therapy.
And then what? Bring you back?
Yes, therapy will definitely help.
What? That's my point to you. I feel like you're like kind of like dismissing therapy, or
I'm not dismissing anything. What I'm saying is, there's no guarantee that any of those things are going to rehabilitate anyone.
It's the attempt. Yeah, nothing can.
I think a lot of people who need therapy aren't going to therapy.
So you think that if the NFL had a rehabilitation program set up, that would just make people be less offended by any of their actions? Like, say for example, if he, whatever the action he did to that girl, whatever he hit her, whatever, pushed her down, whatever, like that. If the NFL was like, oh, we're gonna keep him, he's gonna have his salary, all this stuff, we're gonna send him to therapy.
I didn't say the salary part.
So fine, he lost salary anyway, so he lost salary. He has to go to therapy, and then next season he comes back.
Possibly, yeah.
You think that everybody would be perfectly fine with that?
It's not like
I think it's like it's almost like
It's not about
I was about to say some
perception.
corporate stuff. I was gonna say it's about showing your work. No, but it's more so about like, I mean, like, why is that bad? I think that sends a great message
To
across
at least try,
the universe that like, yo, we're not disowning you as a man or as a person because you did something horrible. Because the forgiveness and rehabilitation, I think, go hand in hand.
Do you think everyone would be given that opportunity though?
Nah, yeah, I think there's some crimes that are so despicable.
I'm saying,
I think there's some crimes that are so despicable that you're just like,
No, I'm saying like NFL wise, right? Do you think everyone would be given that opportunity? Kareem Hunt's probably gonna get another opportunity. Like, just I hate to be blunt with everybody. He's gonna get another job because he's 24. He's 24. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL.
Better guns, and he got another opportunity.
The crazy thing about this, right? So I get on Twitter like right after it happened. He gets released, and I was telling my girl this actually. Everyone was more so focused on the fantasy football aspect of it, not the actual domestic violence aspect of it. Everyone was like, damn, like, yo, pick up Spencer Ware, who's his backup running back because he's not going to play. Like, make sure you get the backup running back because, you know, he's going to get some fantasy points. And that was like the biggest issue about it was like everyone focused on fantasy, not on the actual issue.
It's not shocking. Given
I really want to know. I'm almost at the point where I want to drop these mics and give it to every woman in here and talk about what you guys do.
No, I mean, because I really want to room full of women and we're like out here just like talking about
women. I really.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
No, this is how you should feel.
No, not even that. I had a talk about feminism sort of earlier today with 3 women, and I feel like it was totally different from the dialogue that we're having right now.
I mean, I don't really know.
And I felt like it was more so just like the focus was on making people better, not on some sort of weird punishment on people. And like, trust me, like, I'm not saying a dude should be able to do like, their punishment and rehabilitation sort of go hand in hand, but the focus should always be to like make sure that these people come out better than they were.
Yeah, let me clarify. I'm not saying, I'm strict on the punishment aspect of it. What I'm saying is that the NFL has shown over the years that they have not cared about this issue. And following up to what Kevin said also, the reason why he was cut was because the video came out.
What would women in here, what would you guys want, what sort of punishment would you want for that? An NFL player got caught on camera hitting a female on camera. What would you guys expect?
Yeah.
What would you want to happen out of that situation? What would you want?
So because it's on camera, that makes it different.
Well, regardless though, even if it wasn't on camera, what would you want from this situation?
Like a public therapy session where that NFL player talks with his dad.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's actually very creative.
Why is that?
Because I think that
We
we
should give
forget
her a
that.
mic, actually.
I think we forget that healing is an essential part of punishment.
Healing is an essential part of punishment.
Yeah, I think it's like the realest form of punishment. Making people tap into like their feelings. Like the dude like this, making that dude cry would be the worst punishment this guy ever got in his life. Yeah, that's my point. But he also becomes better though.
Yeah.
It's like the world becomes better. But like when you just throw somebody off, I don't like the way a lot of stuff is handled now. Like Kanye, everyone just like, screw that guy, I'm not gonna listen to his music. It's like, dude, when are we ever gonna, like, leading with that is like never gonna make this any of this better.
That's fine. So having a therapy session.
With anybody else? I like that though.
I want to respond to that. I want her to respond to me too. Having a therapy session with his father, making him cry. What does that do for the actual victim?
It's not so much about what it does for the victim as much as it does for what it does for the victim's fans. Like, sometimes a punishment moment is also a way to like give an entire public tools on how to apply punishment with healing as a part of the destination point, right? Like, but if you don't publicly show people how to sit down and like heal each other, then there aren't a lot. It's not like you learn that in school. I mean, we learn not to talk to our parents at school, probably. You know.
Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, anyone else?
We're fine.
No, I think to your point, you were saying like, what does that do for the victim? I think it depends on the person, but it doesn't really help the victim to feel like the person is just being punished for no good reason. They need some sort of, to make for that person to feel like they can move on, some sort of resolution, some sort of like moving forward, some sort of healing moment. So as like, say like I'm the victim, I would feel better knowing that that person is not going to re-instigate another crime. I feel better knowing that that's not going to happen to another human.
Can you guys ever forgive a person like that? Because I think
Yes.
Wait.
Yes.
I will say though, I feel like that's sort of the thing that I think. I'm gonna be harsh on women right now. Y'all don't leave with or like there's no destination point, and it's like there seems to be a lot more focus on punishing this dude as opposed to like making this guy better. Like this guy should not do that again. But what's going to make him not do that again? Right? That should be the focus. What's going to make this man not do this again? Not rotten hell, man, or like whatever comments that he's getting under his like Instagram tab that's going to probably make him a worse human being. It should be like, I hope we can get you the help you need, right? I hope we can find something that's going to work, right?
Well, and I think not just that, but like what's he going to do to make the world around him better? Like how is he going to teach other people that what he did was a mistake and to teach other people to not make that in the first place? So it take more of like a preventative or like a restorative action to society. Like how are we going to teach the little boys who watch this guy play football and think how great he is? How is he going to teach them that, hey, what I did was wrong, don't ever do it?
No, I like that.
I do.
But also, forgiveness is an essential part of the victim finding peace
Absolutely.
to survival. That it's something that probably doesn't get discussed very often because you only see the anger as the public part. The forgiveness is a very private interaction.
And a lot of times that can happen because you recognize that the other person is actually hurt. They're hurting you because something's wrong with them. And it's that recognition I think is so essential. It goes back to like dealing with our emotions, talking about what an emotion is. No one knows what that is, and therefore we have zero tools as to like what's actually going on inside. The outside world is a reflection of that.
We legitimately talked about this earlier. No, we really did. Like I was in their office and we talked about like how when someone hates you and when you respond to them by saying I don't hate you and like how crazy that is. Like you're starting off way better than as opposed to you responding with whatever sort of hate you're going to spew back. Like you are creating a dialogue. And it's so hard to hate somebody who doesn't hate you. Like, it really is. Like, unless you're just some corrupt, nasty man.
I really try not to let people get you off your square. Like, I heard, like, there were racial slurs, spit, maybe, but nobody could say something to me that would prompt me to, like, hit them.
That's what we said earlier,
yeah, so it's like, to go back to what you're saying, where does this stem from? This anger, like, what is it?
I just want to, like, add... just to follow up, you guys should go check out his interview that he requested with Lisa Salters on ESPN. It's really short. It's like 5-6 minutes on ESPN, and his apology. And just let me know. Just take it in and see how you feel about it.
Yeah.
He requested this interview personally, and I don't want to sway you with my thoughts.
I didn't see it, but it looked like you would advise against it. Well, how
You guys
come across?
I'm not. I'm just telling you.
How did you come across?
Just lethargic.
Like every dude in here was scared when I started like pointing my energy toward females. Every guy in here was like, "Whoa, what is this guy about to say?" I saw this dude.
There's 3 dudes in here.
Yeah. No, but I saw your face and you like knew you legitimately were about to be like, "What is this guy about to say?" I think it's. I'm not really afraid to say anything, but like I think when you like. I think anybody who I lead with intentions and like I'm not trying to like if I said something that probably was maybe insensitive or I just know where it's coming from and we could probably meet somewhere because it's not coming from some like sort of crazy nasty it might be my opinion on something but like it's not some hard steady we're growing, we're all growing.
Gotcha. Yeah, let's in the interest of time, I hate to cut that short. That was actually a great topic, but let's just move on. We gotta get to our last
Let's
topic.
talk about slavery.
Trying to end on a dark note. Now let's talk about the top 5 albums 2018 hip hop.
Yeah.
This is a terrible transition. I don't know why you want to do it in this order, but I'm like, hip hop 5 albums.
I don't want to talk about anything.
Well, coming off of that,
I got a dark cloud now.
How do you feel about music?
Huh? Oh. Who's your top 5 albums?
Yeah, no, I Drake is definitely in it. Scorpion.
This way, you gotta give it some kind of order.
Yeah, he's 3.
I ain't letting you off the hook.
He's third. Nipsey Hussle Victory Lap is 1.
Easy.
Meek Mill Championships 2. Drake 3. I own it there.
You only got top 3?
I don't like a lot of what's going on in young rap. I don't in hip hop. These kids are buffoons. I really don't. I would say KOD 4.
Yeah.
J. Cole and any TD album 5.
Gotcha.
So J-Rock?
J-Rock.
Reason.
J-Rock. Anyway. You wanna go?
Nipsey. I do agree is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
In the year of, my Lord and Savior Aubrey, he is number 1. Aubrey 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the Black Panther soundtrack.
Can we go back? Can we say Drake can't rap anymore? You agree with this?
Carl, what are you doing?
No, I'm really.
What's going on, dog?
I'm literally serious when I say this. Like ever since the ghostwriting allegations came out.
Stop it. That same year he made 4 p.m. in
Did we know
Calabasas.
we made it?
Wow.
I'm not even one of those. Trust me, I'm not even one of those dudes who's like really caught up in that. But it definitely.
You feel like his rapping ability has suffered?
Like
he made 4 p.m. in Calabasas that
non-stop
same year.
sucks. Like
Emotionless.
Yeah, it's good.
Is there more?
Like it.
His rap, diplomatic immunity.
No, I'm really serious when I say like I really prefer R&B Drake. I don't even want the. I don't want rap.
That's
Drake
a different
anymore.
critique.
Like he could have left that with Quentin Miller.
Well, can he rap versus do I want to hear him rap are different? Like I'm giving you songs where
what did he really bring to the table? Let's bring back his impact. When we look back at Drake's impact, we're not going to be like 4 p.m. in Calabasas. We're not going to be. We're going to think of So Far Gone.
No, he tapped into.
We're going to think of Take Care. We're going to think of men being more vulnerable.
Yeah, but the addition is that he can actually rap. Like when he's on track with people, you really think about the Coles, the
Legacy,
Seans,
though.
the
Legacy.
Kendrick.
Like now we're pointing to the legacy.
Well, it depends who you ask.
I think
to a pop mainstream, he's one of the most popular artists. He gave us hits.
Not good.
When he not good.
I think his rapping ability since the allegations came out has been.
That is what 2016.
Yeah.
He made back to back.
You don't know anymore though. He put it out.
This is sick.
Oh my God. Finish your top 5.
No, go ahead.
You done?
I'm done.
You hurt your heart?
Yeah.
You can't even think straight no more.
What if Drake came out and said, "Look, man,
Quentin was right.
No,
he been making me hot since 2016."
Well, if Drake right now came out and said, "This is the craziest part about his legacy." If Drake came out right now and said, "Man, I haven't wrote any of my lyrics ever," I don't care.
Nah, Kev might jump off the Empire State. Never see Kev again. What?
This man is.
Yeah, I'm going radio silent.
Yeah, Kev stopped showering. He be depressed.
Yeah, I'm going radio silent.
We'll hear from you, huh? Top 5. Obviously Nipsey. Victory Lap is just the greatest. But I've been talking about Nipsey since 2011.
Get over it.
I got Meek too still.
Don't you hate the guys who always try to?
I put you on. I put you on. I'm talking about Nipsey since 2011. We out here. What else? What did I just say? Oh, Meek, and then Scorpion, J-Rock Redemption.
This dude just copied my list.
No, I did. Bro,
yo, this guy really just.
You went. First of all, listen. We're talking about this off wax. Listen, if anyone copied anyone, you copied me. But it's cool. You just went first. So
Last record show is December 2nd, and we're talking about champions better than Scorpion. But go ahead.
Who has a 9 to 5? Who has a 9 to 5 in here?
Anyway, J-Rock is 4th.
Quit it.
And then Daytona Pusha T 5th. Y'all slept on that album. Pusha T's Daytona album is fire.
That EP is fire.
It's 7 tracks. I guess it is an EP, but whatever. It's fire.
No, yeah.
Pusha T.
Really good.
Daytona?
Then listen.
That's another one. What?
No.
Listen to it.
Didn't have time for it.
It's only
You
7
saw what happened to him in Toronto?
What happened?
You didn't see that?
When he's on stage, you
want to spray it on?
He got beat down by Drake's goons.
Nobody tries.
They said Drake's goons threw beer on him.
That's not beating anyone down.
No, I love that. I'm very disappointed that, back in the day when I wouldn't say when I was growing up, but the guys I admire, guess who we had, right? We had Louis Armstrong, Jelly Roll Morton, some of the more talented, artists, Billie Holiday. And now you're talking about who? Who you just say? Come on, man. I think this is this really is indicative of our culture. Dude, nobody you just
Carl, what year you were born?
None of you dudes, not one artist they mentioned can play an instrument. No, just think about that. Just in a nutshell.
You named the same artist.
We'll remember them all more than the artists you mentioned, though. So what does that say? What does that say?
It's a damn shame.
Drake, J. Cole, Kendrick, you're gonna remember them all with the people.
Have you heard about the Harlem Renaissance?
Anyway. This guy. You got anything else to say? You want to finish your little Harlem Renaissance?
I do, actually.
You got 2 minutes.
I want to make this concise but impactful. No, we have an issue though. It's all about addressing our issues and getting better. We have an issue. We've lost a context of history of black culture. I think we talk about the crack epidemic, but we don't talk about before that, about a lot of the art and continuity and community that we had in this country. And the art shows that. If you go to the 1900s to the 1950s and 60s, I'm telling you, some of the greatest artwork ever was created by African Americans. Some of the strongest culture in American history was being created and moved and championed, but we don't even, you might have one little class on it, but it is crazy. Like, Chuck Berry created rock. This dude's black. No, I'm serious, but some of the art, some of the contemporary art, some of the, Louis Armstrongs and those people really, without the resources, right? We always talk about resources and all this. Without any of this stuff, these dudes were building, it's incredible. So when we talk about Bed-Stuy and Harlem and what it means to some other people and what that stuff means to me, it's man, we need to bring that stuff to the forefront, because it's when we start talking about some of these new artists, I mentioned some of the same guys, but we don't celebrate history enough. We just don't. We don't know enough. People don't know enough about that side of. If we're going to teach American history, all of it has to be brought to the forefront.
Powerful words. Boy, call folks. Nah. Thank you guys. Really appreciate everyone for coming out and being a part of this first live event. I'm so gracious, I can't even speak, the amount of gratitude I have for everyone that's here for this first event. Man, make sure you guys check out all of our podcasts. We do this every single week. Me and Kev get together after work and, we just keep pouring into it. You can find us on IG, iTunes, SoundCloud, all those streaming networks are there, everywhere, just Coolin Out Pod, everything. And you want to talk about free game real quick? I know you do. So. I don't even know why I posed it as a question.
Nah, I don't want to talk about it, but I will say this. No, man, I launched an initiative. This isn't even a free. I wanted to have some fun today and talk with friends and, talk about rap, art, music, culture, all that sort of stuff. But what I normally do in events like these is give out sort of free legal advice, free education in regards to copyrights. We're both attorneys here, me and Jarel. And we did one here about a month, probably about 3 months ago now.
Not 2 months. Yeah,
2 months ago. Yeah, and it was good, man. We gave people who needed it, right, an opportunity to come out here, ask questions to 2 active attorneys, and we're teaching you. We pick a new topic every month. And I've just been running with it, man. I've been doing it in Philly, bringing it back to New York. I'm doing it again soon in New York. I'm just excited, man. All the stuff I'm hating on about Jay-Z, I'm trying not to be that dude. So legitimately, I hope as I get more successful, y'all don't see me turn, then bring it back up, then bring this little movement back up. But nah, free education should be provided to all. Right? We always champion free education, right?
Yeah.
College should be free.
You're gonna be Jay. I'm gonna be like, yo, he's doing a lot behind the scenes though.
Yeah.
That you don't see. Don't slander him like that.
We gotta see it. And, no, but honestly, I challenge everybody in here who's listening to this and who will listen to this to like make sure whatever you do is bigger than you, and you're not living if it's not making an impact on people. Like it just doesn't matter that much. So even if your work isn't doing it, your 9 to 5, find other stuff that you're doing that can push this country and push people forward. Like we're all healing. We're all trying to do cool and beautiful stuff. And I'm telling you, all you really need sometimes, all people need sometimes is a chance, an opportunity, an education, and resources. And if you can be a person who has those things and provide them to another person, you're doing your part.
Yeah, man. Deep. But nah, for real, man. Thank you guys so much for coming out, supporting the podcast. Until next time, it's Coolin' Out.
Stay cool.